Breakfast Show on ChennaiLive 104.8 FM.
The voice of Chennai on The Breakfast Show with Rohan Sen.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show on Chennai Live 104.8 FM, and in this segment, which we have just started to revive again, it's called Breakfast with the Boss. We have a very interesting human being here, and he's a foreigner to our shows, but he's been here long enough, and he loves the city and he loves the country as well. Mr. Yann Gillet, the general manager of the Park Hyatt in Chennai. Good morning, welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Rohan.
Oh, you sound so polite and so sweet. Yes, all right. So, okay, so we want to jump into the history of Yann. We want to know how you got into the hospitality industry, because I've been through your profile, and you come from a family of doctors, of physicists, and I believe you traveled extensively, and well, you know, that kind of helped you get into or get curious about hospitality.
Well, true. I mean, when you are traveling, when you're kids and you're exposed to different countries, different cultures, and you also see different hotels, and this is where my passion of travel and my passion about this industry of hospitality started. And I always wanted to be an hotelier, just by seeing this beautiful hotel, traveling with my family, my father and mother and sisters, and this is always what I wanted to do.
And so it happened. And but wasn't there at any point of time, was there any pressure saying, no, you have to be a doctor? Just asking, because it happens here every day.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know what is the perception in India about being a waiter or being because we are anyway. I'm a general manager here, but I started as a waiter.
Exactly.
And of course, when I told my father that I wanted to be an hotelier, he said, What are you talking about? You know, you cannot do this job. This is not good enough. This is not good for the family. You have to be a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher, you know, something that is, you will do something of your life.
Right.
So that's why I didn't start by being by going to hotel school. I studied law school and I quit, and then I joined my passion later on.
See, this is why we have Breakfast with the Boss, because these fine points aren't including in the profile that's said to us. All right, so post quitting law school that we've just discovered on Chennai Live, exclusively to Chennai Live, you went on, did your master's degree in hotel administration, and then you're going to bolster that with an MBA in finance. Tell us about your college days. What was it like?
It was fun. I mean, this is fun. You know, the hotel schools, when you start hotel school, they just make sure that you have no fun in the beginning. Yeah. You know, this industry is very, it might be not known to you, but we work when people don't work.
Exactly.
We work every day. There is 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. So when there's public holidays, I mean, our team, and we are still there, you can still go to hotels and you will be served. So it's a very different world. So when you do hotel school, the first year, they always make sure that you have no fun.
Yeah.
You can resist, and then after that, you're going to be taught about the job in itself.
Right. Right.
Just to clarify, I mean, I did this finance MBA much later on.
Okay.
It would just come as a plus, you know. I wanted to be more intellectual and...
All right. Super. I wanted to be more intellectual. I like that. All right, Mr. Yann Gillet, right here on The Breakfast Show on Chennai Live. We'll be right back. More conversation with this man of the world. He's not just a hotelier. He's also an avid sportsman. We'll find out more right here on The Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Breakfast Show on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. You're tuned in to Breakfast with the Boss, Mr. Yann Gillet, the General Manager of the Park Hyatt in Chennai, in conversation with me now. So, apart from, your fondness for food, that is also part of the profile, and your fondness for fashion, which we will definitely get into, you also are very into sport. Tell us about where this came from, and what do you like doing? What's your favorite sport?
Well,
too many questions there.
Well, I like to do sports more than watching sports. Of course, I like everything. I come from a place south of France. Come from Bordeaux. We're very, very close to the sea. So I've learned surfing and windsurfing and kite surfing. So everything that is related to sea sport or outdoor sport. So I love I love those kind of activities, and this is something that you can do very easily in Chennai.
Yes.
You know, you could just go 20-25 minutes away from the city, and you've got beautiful spots. On top of that, I love running. I find this is one of the most democratic sports in the world. I mean, you don't need that many equipment. You can even run barefoot. This is what I've learned also doing here. You can just have, otherwise you just have a pair of shoes, and you can go at any times and anywhere. There is no limit for your sports. And actually, Chennai is quite contrary to what you think. It's quite easy to run. But easy to find place to run.
All right, easy to find place to run. All right, so now I want to digress a little. Now, you're quite the man of the world. You've been in Johannesburg. You've spent a little time in China as well, and of course, you've worked in France. Now, this sudden entry into India. What was that experience like, and especially Chennai? What's the experience been like so far?
But there's two things. First, for all of us, hotelier, coming to India means a lot. You probably don't know that, but this is
the magnitude.
Well, this is especially the land of hospitality. You know, when you study, when you're in hotel school, you always know about these big chains like Oberoi or Taj. Those names are extremely famous, and you always have these pictures of the history of hospitality being in India. So it meant a lot for me. So when the group asked me to consider India, I was extremely pleased. They said Chennai. I said, you mean Dubai? And said, no, they mean Chennai. So I was not quite sure where was Chennai when they asked me, because we know more Madras as a name than Chennai. But I had to look at the map and realize it was not far away from Pondicherry. So I thought, well, the French were not that far, so if there was French, it must be a good place. So I said, yes. So let's go to Chennai, and I love it. I find that you know, when you've been traveling so much, it's a different culture. I didn't realize that coming to Chennai, it was different language, different culture. You know, it's very, very surprising. I saw that India was one language, one culture. It's not exactly like that.
That's super. All right, and you do have your family here with you as well, your wife and 2 children. How they like it?
Well, they love it. My kids are into a fantastic school. They just have to probably adjust a little bit, because in Chennai, traffic can be a bit hectic.
As usual in any good Indian metropolis.
True. I mean, you just don't go from A to B as easy. You don't count in kilometers. You count in times. You know, it's not because it's 2 kilometers that you will you'll take 20 minutes to go there. But you adjust, and once you understand how the city works, it's all easy for them.
All right, super. All right. Now, this man also loves his food, and he loves his fashion as well. We'll be right back on The Breakfast Show talking to Yann Gillet of the Park Hyatt right here on The Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere. You're tuned into The Breakfast Show on ChennaiLive 104.8 FM. You're listening to Breakfast with the Boss with Mr. Yann Gillet, the General Manager of the Park Hyatt right here in Chennai. Now, so the hotel industry from the days of the Maharaja have evolved. It has changed. And now I wanted to ask you, what is your take on the internet and the hotel industry?
Well, internet.
Right. Okay.
Well, I think internet is a big revolution. More from it's a revolution more from the guest or the customer mind, because you everything goes with the internet. Even social media goes through the internet. It's almost like when 50 years ago we introduced hot water in the hotels. I mean, it was probably already a revolution. Everything goes through the internet, which changed our life. We have to provide internet, and this is not only wide internet, it has to be Wi-Fi internet, mobile internet, iPad internet. I mean, it's extremely changing, and providing the speed that guests want in our hotels is a very, very challenging exercise.
Right. And what about as in now for a guest to check into a hotel? He, like I was telling you a little earlier, he can check out the entire hotel online. The facilities, everything, the rates, the way the room looks, what television you offer in your... It's that detailed. Does that affect the hotel industry? Or does it just make you guys a lot more efficient?
I mean, I think information is power, and guests can access a lot of information, and sometimes they know more than we do about our product,
Right.
because they are aware of our promotions that we are running, that we are not always aware of. So we have to maintain ourselves extremely abreast of what's coming online. That being said, we are in the 5-star industry, and being in 5-star, you will always rely on the people, and we try to insist that we try to make a difference in the life we touch. Just by being there. I mean, of course, if we have to check in with an electronic device, or you will talk to a robot or a computers to check out, I think you're not going to make any difference. It's going to be extremely robotic, extremely standard. So we make a difference with our people, with our service.
That's super. Spoken like a true GM of a hotel in Chennai. Being very diplomatic, always. All right. So now coming back again to another question related to the industry. Now you've traveled the world. You've held very prominent positions at various hotels across the globe. Now coming to India, what is the hospitality industry in India? How does it compare to the rest of the world?
It's a country which is quite amazing. You've got absolutely stunning properties, historical properties, probably amongst the best in the world that you've seen. Talking about Oberoi or Taj, that you can see in cities, they are remarkable, and I'm really admire them. They are not that many for a country that big, 1.2 billion people. You don't have that many luxury properties, and I think there's still a lot of space. We are coming with different visions. We are an American company, Hyatt, and I don't want to make any promotions of my own brand, but I think it's good that we come with our own eyes in cities that are booming. I think Chennai is one of these new dragon city in India, and there's a lot of things happening. And we come with a different touch, different expertise. We're running 500 hotels in the world in 55 countries. We've got more than 100,000 employees. So we can also contribute to the success of this country by bringing our different touch. Of
course they can. Stay tuned to The Breakfast Show. We'll be right back in just a bit. You're listening to The Breakfast Show on ChennaiLive 104.8 FM. I've been in conversation with Mr. Yann Gillet, the General Manager of the Park Hyatt Chennai. Good morning, sir, once again. And now, I believe you have a fondness for Chennai. You have a great passion for Chennai.
I've got a great passion. I've been there now for 18 months in Chennai, and I see the city. I think the city, since I arrived in May last year, has changed already quite a lot, and it's going to change even more in the next 6 months. And you've probably seen it's happening in Chennai. I think 6 months ago or 7 months ago, where it was when you wanted to go out on Friday night and you were asking yourself, where should we go tonight? You had quite limited options, and we can probably list them on one hand only. I think in a couple of months you'll be really have a lot of choice, and time will not be an issue. It's not okay, let's go for dinner now because at 10:30 we have to go home.
Exactly.
It's going to change quite a lot. So it's good what's happening in Chennai, and even if you're from Kolkata, you're probably going to come. You're going to come to Chennai to party and to have some great food and great experience.
Definitely, I'll keep that in mind the next time I talk to home. It's like, why don't you just come down here? All right, so now before I leave you, I've been taunting my listeners with this for a while now. You've bolstered yourself with the master's degree and the MBA, right? Now you've traveled the world. You've been the general manager at various Hyatts across the globe, and you love your sport, and you also love your food, and you also just happen to have an indulgence in Italian and French fashion. Would you care to say anything, comment on that? Where did that come from? It was just, hey, I like looking good.
I like looking good. I think some people like cars, or some people like music. Well, I like music, I like cars, but it's an industry where you have to be very presentable. You learn that from school, and I really like fashion, I like style, and I think this is also a brand where you need to have some style. So style is very personal. It's like luxury. So I'm very much into fashions, and I like all the brands. I'm a brand freak.
That's super. All right, so thank you so much for talking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Super. All right, there you go. Stay tuned to The Breakfast Show on Channel Live 104.8 FM.